Hey everybody, warmer days are upon us. That means a few things. Evals may be here. You might be looking at spring hockey, you might be even looking forward to summer hockey. You know, when it gets to the off season, I always like to present you with alternative options to just being on the ice all the time because you deserve a break too. And what we do in my house for my son, who's a goalie, and my daughter, who's a skater, is use NHL Sense Arena, our title sponsor, as many of you know. And they just launched a new goalie mindset training with Pete Fry, which is all about building composure, focus, and emotional control that goalies need in big moments. And then for the skaters, they've really updated Dangle Pro with full ice scanning. So now you're not just standing still stick handling in isolation. You're handling the puck while scanning, making reads, and training your awareness like you would in a real game. And again, this uses mixed reality. So you're actually stick handling with your real stick and a puck. You can see it around virtual objects. It's super fun and it's super nuts. We shared some videos with that. I wish I had that as a kid. Check these deals out. They're offering 50% off an annual plan compared to paying monthly. Plus, you get a free hockey training ball, a free green biscuit, and free shipping on that. Or if you go all in with a 2-year subscription, you can get a new MetaQuest 3S headset for $100. That's $900 in savings. I have never seen them offer the headset for that price. So if that's what's been holding you up, this is the time to get it because it all is going to add up. All right. Head to nhl.sensearena.com/OKPH and use the promo code OKPH to save an additional $25 on top of the offers I've already mentioned. We have always loved NHL Sense Arena's belief in us and what we do as a show, and we always appreciate your belief in us as well. This is a great deal. Go check it out. And as always, enjoy this episode of Our Kids Play Hockey. Hello, hockey friends and families around the world, and welcome back to another edition of Our Girls Play Hockey. It's Lee with Haley Scamurra here today. We are back to our Day in the Life series with Haley. We've been following her through her PWHL season, her Olympic journey that led to a gold medal, just the life of being Haley Scamurra, which has accelerated a lot lately. So when we left you last, all right, the last time we had this conversation, fresh off the gold medal victory, we went through the Olympics. For those of you listening, make sure you go back and listen to that one if you haven't. Really, all of the hosts on the show just gushed over you the entire time. It was awesome. We all felt pretty good. I remember after that episode, Haley, Christy Casciano, one of our co-hosts, called me and she goes, "That was so fun. That was so great." Like we talked to a real gold medalist, and to which Christy, I said, "Christy, you've been a news lady for like 25 years. You've been." So she was just very happy. So today we're going to be talking about kind of the post-Olympic thing. It's been 2-3 weeks now. So it's been about 3 weeks since you won. So we'll do this kind of chronologically, right?
Yeah.
So you come back from the Olympics. You're there for a few more days. You get the closing ceremonies. You're back in the United States. The first thing you're met with, and you were in the middle of this when we were recording, is 3 PWHL games in a row. And not just any games. You win these 3 games, you go to the top of the standings, like real playoff implications in these games, big games against big teams. Walk us through how you go from the greatest moment of your life to I've got to get back into game mode right now, playing with my opponents, against my teammates, so forth and so on.
It was insane. We literally had one day off when we got back from our crazy travel day. And then I had to leave 2 days later for New York. So I had to unpack, repack, do laundry, all that fun stuff. A little bit of a hit back to reality for sure. But then on top of that, it's like, especially after winning the gold medal, so many people are reaching out, wanting to talk, wanting to interview, wanting to podcast, like all these different things. I'm trying to field that while also dealing with my schedule. So it was a lot. We had like one practice and literally left the next day. And that first game, I was like, it was the weirdest out of body experience because I wasn't really fully rested, hadn't really recovered from jet lag. Like you can kind of tell it was everyone's first game in a while, or you had just come back from the Olympics. Like it was a wild game, but I was very proud of our team. We did great.
But in New York, correct, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, in New York.
And they had beaten you 2 times in a row prior to that too. So this is the game you won.
Yeah. And we played great. We found a way to kind of battle through like the first game rust, if you will.
Yeah.
But then right before that, I actually had a request to do the Kelly Clarkson Show because it's filmed in New York. And I was like, of course. So I had to pack for that. I stayed a little bit longer, like the next day after a game, to do that with our PR guy. And that was the most incredible experience ever.
Well, we're going to get into that. So And like
So
what
I
was
kind
funny
I kind of
about
jumped
that.
ahead a little bit.
No, it's good. It's good. I wanna preface just to give people an idea how busy you were. So first off, let me ask this question. Like
Yeah.
when I don't know if you had your US phone over in Italy, like I mean after the game, let's just go. After the game, I didn't ask this. How many missed texts, like how many texts or calls did you have on your phone?
Hundreds, like
Yeah.
hundreds of messages on either text message or Instagram or Facebook, like so many. And as I kind of talked about in the previous episode, I'm like a toxic replier back. Like I literally sat on the bus and wrote thank you to so many people because I really hate having my notifications up on my phone. So I tried to respond to as many people as I could that night so I didn't have anything lingering the next day. But then again, like it was coming through all the time. Like I
Yeah.
was getting messages. Even today, I'm still getting messages like, hey, I didn't want to bombard you at the time, but
Right.
congrats, you know? So it's pretty crazy. It's really incredible.
No, I'm glad to know that hell for me is unread messages. That I'm not the only
Mhm.
person that feels that that little red circle with a number is hell. So that's good
Yes.
to know. What's funny about us, right, is like obviously we texted a little bit.
Yeah.
What my gauge was, and I told our crew this. I said when Haley responds with a full sentence to you, she's ready to talk. If you're getting two words, she's fine. She's going to respond to you. But when you get a sentence back, that means things have calmed down a little bit.
That is
Um,
so true.
and again, just to let the audience know how crazy things were, and we love this. We had a recording set for our show, and you you always reached out like, "Hey, are you good for this?" And I remember we could say this now. You go, "Oh no, I have to go on Kelly Clarkson,"
Oh
and
my
we
gosh.
ribbed you so hard. We were like, "So you're choosing a national broadcast over our podcast today," and which
That was
obviously we were happy about.
that was so funny. I will not forget that. Thank goodness you texted me. I would have felt terrible if you guys were just waiting there. But like
Yeah,
everything happened so fast. Like I found out the day before we left for New York that they were like requesting me
right.
because I was the only US player who was going to be in New York at
That's
that
funny.
time.
Yeah,
And so it
yeah.
just was like kismet, right? So I was like, I have to do this, obviously. And you guys were obviously very understanding, but it was so
Oh
funny. I was
yeah.
like, whoops.
No, dude, honestly, we messaged you because we figured like she's
Yeah.
got a lot going on right now. Let's make sure she's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Because look, and I'll tell the audience, Haley is such a great person and a great professional. Like you always get back to us. You always
Mhm.
tell us what's going on. But like
Yeah.
in that week, I was like, we need to maybe check with her, just make sure
It was
she's
a
okay. Look, in addition, and we will get to Kelly Clarkson and Pink, but like it wasn't just that. You were getting on podcasts, you were being interviewed
mhm,
on local news, big news.
mhm,
It was just constant, right? And
mhm.
you have to do those things, I think, right? So how did you organize all of that incoming stuff, and then was it just like let's go, like you're a gamer, right? Was it just let's do it?
I literally, the day I got back, I actually just forgot about this until now. I got back on like the 24th of February and I had all these requests coming from our PR guy in Montreal. And I go, just book it all today. I go, well, I'll just crank through it. Like, why not?
Yeah,
And little did I know there was going to be more later on in
right.
life, but like I thought that was going to
Yeah.
be it. So I was like, just let's crank it out. So I literally had 3 or 4 interviews that day
Wow.
that I
That,
did.
so like that's what Hollywood movie stars do when they're promoting a movie. So now you know
And you
how
know
that
what?
feels.
Kudos to them
Yeah,
because it takes a lot of like energy and like it's it's even if it's only a 10-minute interview, it's like it's still energy, it's still time in your
yeah,
day, it's still, something you're preparing for, mentally and whatnot. So um important to kind of manage the energy during this time for sure.
yeah. No, and it can be exhausting. It's
Hmm.
always funny. Sometimes you get really good bloopers from celebrities when they're in like the 10th
Yeah.
interview of the day. But good on you, Haley, for
Yeah.
for like doing it. And by the way, you did it so eloquently.
Thank you.
Like you're when you do interviews, including this show, like you give everything you got. It's so
Mhm.
obvious. You know what I mean? So thank you for that. Okay, let's get to the big show. So you get invited on Kelly Clarkson. If
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson's not cool enough, Pink is hosting the episode, who
Yeah.
is awesome. Um, tell us everything. I'm not going to ask. Just tell us everything from when you got there to her makeup to going on stage to do you see Pink before the show? Is Pink just sitting there? Then she asks you questions. Tell us everything.
So like I know this is my first talk show ever. Like
Right.
didn't know what to expect. I get a call like the day before. They want me to send pictures in. I do a pre-interview for the interview where they ask questions to kind of see what topics they might want to hit. Um so that was like a crazy experience. And then getting there, we got there like probably 2 hours before I was going to go on air. They did hair and makeup. They did I had my little dressing room with a fridge stocked with drinks, like with some snacks too. Like I didn't really have time for that, but
Right.
actually I did have a ginger ale with a straw. That was
Oh,
fun.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, had to get something. I have a picture of me with doing hair and makeup, having my little ginger ale, but that was really fun. And then I didn't get to meet Pink beforehand.
Wow. So
So
when
like,
you walk out there, that's the first time you're meeting her.
uh-huh,
That's
uh-huh. So
awesome.
I literally was like,
Yeah.
I go, do I hug her? Like what? And there, I also found out there was another host, Carrie Kenny Silver, I believe.
Yeah.
And she was on Reno 911. She was on the show 4 seasons, like
Yeah.
so funny.
And she's
And
sitting
I
right
found
next
out
to you
she
out
was
there.
also, yes.
Yeah.
So I go, where do I sit? Do I hug them? Like, I don't want to like, what if they're not huggers? Like, like, or is it
What
like a
if Pink tries to
handshake? Like,
fight you right there?
yeah,
She might
like
do
what?
that. She's written
Like
songs
what's
about it. No, go ahead. Sorry.
like what's gonna happen, right? And then it was really sweet because like the manager for Pink kept saying like she's so excited to see you, like she's really excited for this, like yada yada yada. So I was like, okay, like cool. And so I get out there and like you're waiting for the doors to open, you're waiting behind the thing, and then it's like all the people are there. It's a live audience, like 200 people like cheering for you, excited. I'm just waving. And then Pink is like bowing down to me, like so is Carrie. And I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, this is
Right.
crazy. And then they both gave me like big hugs, like super sweet. And I kind of was just like disassociated from like how cool the moment was. I was just like, okay, there's just two people interviewing me. Like, don't overthink this.
Well, remember, you're actually
And
the celebrity in that moment, to be fair.
which is still
Yeah.
so crazy to me. Like what? So they were great. It went really well. What's cool is that it's like recorded, so at least it wasn't live. Like that
Yeah.
helped a lot because at one point actually Carrie's um prompter wasn't reading and she goes, oh, my question's not there. You know what I mean? So like things happened on the thing. So like
Yeah.
that kind of helped mentally as well.
So you're
Um
saying this podcast has prepared you
yes.
for live recordings?
Yes, exactly. So yeah, it was just amazing and they were so nice. And then after the interview, when the cameras were off or whatever, like they wanted to chat for a bit. So we were sitting there chatting and
That's cool.
they were just so kind. Like Pink was saying her son's recently into hockey, so she's a hockey mom now. And she's like, I really want to go to a pro women's game. I was like, we got to get you to a pro women's
Yeah.
game for sure.
I'm sure
So
they let her in.
I am working on it. I want her to come to a game so bad. Carrie said
Yeah.
she was down too. So like, let's get him to a game. Like, why not? So they were just so nice. Like, when you meet a celebrity, you want them to be really nice, right? You don't want to
Yeah.
set too high of expectations, but they were absolutely incredible. So it was such a great experience. And then we went right to the airport, right back to Montreal.
Wow. Well, I'll say this too. Like, I want to say, I think Pink, not just one of the most talented female artists ever, but just such a great person. I mean, outspoken,
Yeah.
Not just about women, but just in general, in a positive way, right? Like,
Mhm.
like I think she's just such a great role model for young kids, as are you, obviously.
Thank you.
But it was so cool to be there. Now, do you want to meet Kelly Clarkson? Is the other question I want to ask, because obviously
I
wasn't there that day.
I had mixed emotions because I'm like, oh my God, I get to meet Pink. This is incredible. But like Kelly Clarkson was like, I loved her. Like growing
Yeah.
up, like I watched American Idol when she won. Like that
Right.
was the first season I
Right.
watched. Like I think she is an incredibly talented singer and like person. And so I wanted to meet them both. Like I was
Right.
like, what the heck? But yeah. So
Yeah.
again, Pink was incredible, but I was also wanting to meet Kelly Clarkson for sure.
Yeah, I think people underestimate. Actually, nobody in music underestimates Kelly Clarkson as a singer, but
Mhm.
she's one of the greatest vocalists ever.
Yes.
Did you ever see the movie From Justin to Kelly? Were you that big of a fan?
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay, all right. You were probably young then, so I can see why you
Yeah.
would do that.
Yeah.
Little. I think wasn't that the first season of American Idol?
Yes.
First season. Yeah, that was like
Yep.
the original season.
Yep.
I remember where I
Original.
was.
Yep.
All right. This next question I got to ask. So Pink actually asked you about it too on set. It's well documented now. After the Olympics, there was a little bit of political drama and debacle surrounding the games. Look, I think you've said all you need to say about that. Again, for the audience listening, we're not going to dive into it. You can go see what Haley has said and the rest of the team.
Yeah.
But what I think is really cool, Haley, is that the focus is now returning to you winning gold, the men winning gold, and that USA Hockey is on top of the world right now. Okay. In terms of stature. Again, I always like to shout out our Canadian audience. We care about you deeply. Don't think this is anything to do with them. This is how I want to frame this question. Can we talk for a minute about the importance of keeping the focus on that and the fact that you won, the men won, the game is growing,
that there's actually a responsibility with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where your focus, in my opinion, I have to say that, should be right now, because it's somewhat of a once in a lifetime accomplishment.
Yeah. I think despite like all of that, I think it honestly just brought more eyes to our game. It really did. And I felt that outpouring of love and support. And I think that's what we've been kind of riding off of, honestly. And you can see the growth in the game and the numbers and the viewership and everything. Like we have 100,000 girls registered in USA Hockey. Like that's amazing. It's the first time we've hit that number, right? So I think just focusing on that and then focusing on our league now and welcoming in the new people who are watching. And we have sellout crowds at Madison Square Garden and TD Garden coming up. Like I'll be at the TD Garden game. I cannot wait.
You gotta break another record.
Yeah, like it's just we keep breaking records. Like it's absolutely amazing, and I think it's so important to kind of keep focused on it. And then in terms of like the gold medals, like first time in history the men and women have won at the same time. For us, it was the best Olympic hockey team that's been made. Like our US team was absolutely incredible. We were so dominant the whole tournament. 2 goals against the whole tournament. Just scoring more than 5 goals almost every game. Like you can't make it. Like it's just, and then like Hillary breaking her records in the gold medal game, breaking the Olympic scoring records. Like just so many storylines that happened that just show the incredible growth of women's hockey, how incredible we were, how dominant we were. And so I think it's pretty easy to kind of refocus on us.
Yeah. Look, how about we say this too? There's so many positives.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like almost unlimited amounts of positives for both teams.
Yep.
Why focus on the one negative? However you perceive it, right? Like, like keep it on the positive stuff. And I'm going to say too, just echoing you, 100,000 girls signed up for USA Hockey and growing. Those of you listening know I coach a women's team and a girls team. How about this one, Haley? First time ever, Puerto Rico ice hockey, over 100 female registrants. That's pretty amazing to me when you think about not just 100 women playing hockey, but under the Puerto Rican flag. That's pretty cool. I just got done with a tryout today for my girls' youth team. We're seeing record numbers there. So the growth of the game, not just the game itself, but women's hockey, girls' hockey in general, we're seeing that boom immediately. And I think we're going to see it for a long time to come. You said it perfectly, too, that it's the first time. There's only going to be one first time that both teams win together. And that's why I think this is, I think, again, 1980 was a seminal moment in hockey. I think 1998 was a big moment in hockey. And I think that nothing against 18, but 26 is going to be a major moment when we look at the history of USA Hockey and growth of the game. And again, it doesn't matter what country you're from. It's good for the game, period. All right. And I'll just say one more thing about what you said, because I like saying it. That it's not just because it was USA. I mean that was the most dominant team I have ever seen in Olympic competition. I mean, everyone contributed. It was pretty amazing, right?
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. All right, let's keep going here. So Pink, Kelly Clarkson, no big deal. Then your hometown team calls. Buffalo Sabres call you.
Yeah.
Why don't you walk us through that phone call and how you ended up in front of that entire crowd?
So they really wanted, like me and Winnie both, Haley Wynn, my teammate, because she's from Rochester, New York. They really wanted us to come to, and Joy Dunn, her brother plays for the Sabres. They wanted us to come to their first game back from the break because they were honoring Tage Thompson too. So they did want it to be at the same time, which would have been obviously really cool.
Yeah.
However, I had a game in Toronto the exact same night. So they're obviously very understanding of that. They're like, we would just love to have you at a game at some point. So I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like, I really wanted to make it work. I wanted to get it done at some point soon because after our 3 games in 5 days with our team, we had like a 12-day break of games. Right. We still had practices. And so I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like, okay, we have a day off here. And funny enough, the Sabres are playing the Washington Capitals. And my dad still lives in Buffalo and he used to play for the Capitals. And I was like, that'd be kind of fun. Like I could leave the day before, right after our practice. I can go to the game, leave the next morning, make practice the next day. And it was definitely worth it. However, ran into some snags. There was an ice storm here in Montreal, so I had an 8-hour delay getting to Buffalo. So I didn't get home until 2:30 in the morning, the day of the Sabres game. And I was under the weather a little bit, so fighting through that. But honestly, so worth it. Like my brother, who wasn't able to come to the Olympics, came and stayed with us too, and he got to kind of have his Olympic experience, which was really special to share with him. And I had some other family members and friends there as well. And the Sabres do like this drum thing before the game to the chant of "Let's Go Buffalo," which I didn't even know. I had to look up videos. I was so nervous. And they honored me on the Jumbotron like right before, and everyone's like standing up and clapping, and like that was just really, really cool. Like so incredible to kind of feel the hometown love and support. And I actually think I was more nervous for the drum than I was for the pink interview. I'm not even kidding. I was actually like, how do I do this? Do I hit it hard? Like, how hard do I hit the drum? Like, whatever. Anyway, I did it. Everything was okay.
You did it like a pro, like you do everything else, I'm sure.
Thank you. Yeah. And so then after that, I had the interview with Marty Baron and Brian Duff, who are like the broadcasters in the middle of the interviews. And so I sat down with them right after the first period. And then that's when a whole mess of people came over to watch and then wanted to meet me afterwards. And that was the highlight of it for sure, because all these little girls came up to me and told me how much I inspired them and how much, how like they watched and tears in their eyes, just so excited to meet me. And I don't even have words. Like I was just so overcome with like emotion and just so grateful, and worth all the delays and the lack of sleep for sure. It was just amazing.
Well, like I'll say this to you, Haley, like trailblazing is not easy work. And you and all of your counterparts are doing that right now. I'm gonna say it again. The last time we spoke, it's funny because this has developed since we spoke. I mentioned to you that, do you realize you've been part of one of the most watched on TV games of all time, and then attended games of all time? And then I was joking with you the other day, well, you can add to the resume now, you're gonna be on the first nationally televised game ever. You're doing this all before the halfway point of the year. Like, what else could happen? see what else could happen. You mentioned your family. I actually want to tap in on that a little bit, because we haven't discussed, like, what is this like for you and your family? Are there some maybe special moments you can share about with your dad and with your family, your brothers, about not just winning but just all of this?
So two of my brothers got to come to the Olympics. My mom, my dad, stepdad. Nick was able to come, my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And with my family, like one of the coolest parts is like against Sweden in the semifinals. I talked about this in the other episode, but like after I scored, seeing them so excited in the stands, like it was like they were on the ice with me celebrating the goal.
Yeah.
It was just so incredibly exciting, and I was just so happy I got to share that with them. I don't even know how else to describe it. It was just so amazing. And then after winning gold, I think that was also kind of what made it click, was seeing my family in the stand. So like I'm seeing my mom crying, I'm seeing my brothers like consoling her, like everyone freaking out over there. And then my dad was in the other corner, and his smile was just like ear to ear, huge. And he did like his little double wave like this. Like that's what I know. He's like pure joy, right? Like he just saw his daughter reach this goal that like he's helped me achieve along the way. Like, I mean, without him coaching me and him pushing me the way he did, I wouldn't be where I am today. Like that's without a doubt. And for my mom, like without her support, without her lack of hockey knowledge, to be honest, like she was my like support system outside of that, where like I didn't have to worry about hockey with her. Like we could just talk about other things. And I think that balance is kind of what made me who I am today and what brought me to the Olympics and finally that gold medal. So that made me really emotional, and I think really hit home when I won the gold for sure.
Yeah, there's so much energy surrounding the win.
Yeah.
And it's unlimited. Like you want to share it with everyone. It's a cool feeling, right? And I can tell you, at least I'll say limited experience, but like as a parent, like I understand when we say we live through our kids in a lot of ways. It's true. Like we feel what you feel. When you're in pain, we're in pain. But when you're elated, we're elated.
Yeah.
And so they might as well have been putting that medal around all of their necks when they put it on your neck. We joked about, we saw what the Wynn brothers were like too for Haley and that family. I think that's one of the cooler stories. I'm talking about just families in general that we don't talk about, of like it's a gold medal for you. It's a gold medal for the team, a gold medal for the country, but it's also a gold medal for so many people surrounding your life. Again, including your mother and father who played in the NHL. And man, that must have just been, I'd love to talk to him about it just to get his feelings on it one day. Maybe we'll make that happen.
Yeah, maybe.
I bet you.
We have to get him to work a computer though. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you might have to just sit next to him. Just be like, remember, the Scamurra they're listening to is me on this show. Okay. No, thanks for asking that. So, look, in addition to all this stuff, Buffalo Sabres stuff. By the way, I think the Bills do something with Let's Go Buffalo too before their games. So that's a pretty cool. Yeah. But also a ton of news. I mean, they did some features on you with Nichols, and like, are you aware of stuff like that when it's happening, or?
I have some family friends who will send a lot of stuff as they see it. So that's usually how I find out about it, because there is so much stuff. Like the Nichols thing was really sweet. Like, it's where I went to high school, and they interviewed all the girls there, and how excited they were to see me there, and she can be there, I can be there.
That's awesome.
It was just so cool. It's cool to see kind of the reach that you have when you're in this position. And
I'll also say too, a friend of the show, Youth Inc., which is a really great resource for all you families out there. If you haven't checked out Youth Inc., they do podcasts, they do a lot of content. Greg Olson, obviously famous NFL player, runs that. Check that out. But you did a great interview with them as well, right? How'd that come about, and what was your favorite part of that interview?
They were great. Shelby interviewed me for that one, and she was so sweet. She was just very easy to talk to. It was very conversational, and it was just a lot of fun. It flew by. My favorite part, we talked about the manifesting and the whiteboard and stuff. That was really cool, and how I wrote over it every morning, I am a gold medalist, and how that kind of helped me keep my confidence throughout the games. And then another great question Shelby asked me on the show was, female role models I kind of had growing up, and something I hadn't really realized until I answered the question was how important my first female coach was, because I've only had male coaches in the space of hockey and soccer. And so my first female coach was in high school, and I think it kind of opened my eyes to what I could do later in life, because at the time there also wasn't professional hockey. So I think seeing that was really critical for me, and then it was something that I could maybe aspire to one day, and it kind of sparked that interest for me, for sure, in terms of the coaching and mentorship side of things.
Yeah, I always like to mention it because this was a realization for me too. I should preface it like that more often, that don't assume people have seen everything. And what I mean by that is, until you see a woman playing pro hockey, until you see a woman coaching, until you see whatever it is for the first time, you haven't seen it, right? We talked about this before. Again, my daughter watching you win a gold medal, that is a possible future in her mind. Doesn't matter if it happens or not. It's happened.
Yeah.
Right. And again, I think we take that for granted sometimes. Look, if you're a fan of the NHL, you've seen people win the Stanley Cup. Right? It's that simple, right?
Yeah.
So I always just try and remind people of that too. And it's also, I always feel like there's a responsibility for me too. When I coach women's hockey or girls hockey, I try and find women coaches as well, right? If they're available, right? Because I want to bring them out there too. I don't think it's not just for me in any way. It's for the girls. I want them to see that. Right. And I think we all play a role in enabling each other for that. So, all right. This next question is the last question. It's kind of a two-part question. All right. Staying on the media front. It's not, maybe it's slowed down a little bit, but it hasn't slowed down. Like you got even more stuff coming up from interviews and things like that. Right.
Yeah. I have a lot of podcast requests still coming through. I've got, interviews, stuff to do back home in the summer when I'm done with hockey, so much in the works. I'm going on Jason Tartick's podcast. He has a financial podcast. He was in the Bachelor world, so I used to love Bachelorette stuff. But now he does finance stuff. He also has a company that helps people with brands and things like that. And so that was obviously a huge connection for me. Another fun thing I actually forgot to mention, Rob Gronkowski made me a little shout out video.
Yeah, he did.
Because he's from Buffalo, New York as well. So just so many amazing, wonderful things have been happening and are still kind of happening. And honestly, it's just all times I get to share the excitement of winning a gold medal and kind of relive it again. So it's just been amazing. And not taking it for granted.
No, it's not every day you get a Gronk shout out.
And him doing a Buffalo cheer. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. All right. So segueing into like this question now, turning into hockey. You know, you win the gold medal. You're with Team USA for months, right? And it just kind of like stops, right? Like, what's next on the USA hockey front? How does that work? I mean, is it right to the World Championships next year? Is there like are you guys gonna have an off-season ceremony? Like, how does this work now?
It kind of just ends, and I think that's like the saddest part, and that's why we were kind of like so excited to like celebrate at the Village and everything. You know, we're gonna have a celebration in Vegas, I think, by Flavor Flav, and
that has been very well documented.
Yep, we will be doing that. And then, you know, hopefully there's other things this summer maybe we can plan together. But like obviously right now everyone's so busy, we haven't really gotten that far.
Right.
And then in terms of USA hockey stuff, like we would normally have an August camp, but I don't know if we'll do that anymore because now World Championships will be in November.
Right.
So we actually don't really know what's next at the moment.
Yeah,
so that's actually really weird. It just is kind of ended, and now we're also starting a new process, I guess. Like it's a new setup in terms of having Worlds in November. So maybe they'll have camp in October now. Like I don't know what it'll look like. So I think we'll probably find out in the coming months. I would imagine they're going to probably like keep in contact with us, but I don't think we would do an August camp anymore. But who knows?
It's really interesting. So again, this is all kind of flowing. It's one question here, right? In the very first Day in the Life episode, we talked about how, okay, this is a very unique situation now. First time there's been a pro women's league, into the Olympics, back to pro hockey. Again, we've talked in our Q&A episodes about the return to the PWHL. I think we talked about that earlier in this episode too. But from a reflective standpoint, right, now you've done it, right, in terms of returned. How are you feeling? I guess is the right question, like being back in the PWHL play at this point.
Returning to the PWHL, I had a feeling it would be the first game would be the hardest game probably. And it kind of was. I didn't feel great physically. I wasn't really fully there mentally. However, like I was so excited to be back with my teammates. Like, and I think that's what kind of showed through in the game. Like we were all so excited to be back together. And I think that's why we ended up playing so well and winning that game.
Right.
And then from there, like it was kind of back to business. Like it went really smoothly, I thought. And like our team meshed incredibly well. And again, I think that's just the culture we've built in the room and how excited people were to be back together again. And those next two games, like those were some of our best games that we've played. And so I'm really excited to see how like the second half of the season goes. And like, this is the fun part too. It's like the standings are close. Like everyone's fighting for that playoff spot. Like we're playing against Boston this Sunday, and that's going to be, you know, a battle for first at this point of the season. And so we haven't seen each other since the beginning of the season. So we're really excited for that game. It's going to be a sold out crowd. And that's also been really fun, like having more eyes on the game and more people watching on YouTube and being at the games in person. And so I think there's going to be like that new excitement energy kind of around all the games.
Yeah, it's been fun watching the sarcasm around the nobody watches women's sports conversations now, where it's like, I think it's everyone watches women's sports is more prevalent now than anything.
Yeah.
How many Olympians were on the team, Montreal? Was it 5?
There was, I want to say 4 or 5 were on Team Canada playing.
Yeah. 2
were coaches. Then there was 1 from Czech, 1 from Germany, and 1 from Sweden.
Wow. All right, so
and
the full gamut there. So what did your teammates that were not playing do while you were gone? Did they just practice?
They practiced like the whole time. They had a 5 or maybe a week break before, like when we had first left.
Yeah.
But after that, they practiced every day pretty much. And so kudos to them because they did an incredible job. I think that's what we really highlighted a lot, like our coaches and the players who were at the Olympics. It was just like, you could tell how hard they worked based on how well we've done in our first games back, because we had depth scoring in all of those games.
I agree.
And so what they did was massive and super important to the success of our team. But it had to be hard, like to not have games for that long and only practice. Like, it's difficult mentally.
Well, I think it says a lot about the organization and the leadership too. Like it's a pro team, right? Like, and the dedication to that. You know, it's funny. I just was thinking here too, like, you got to go back to the pro world. I'm thinking about like your college teammates who have to go back to school. That's probably a little different. Right? Like I got to go to class now. I'm a gold medalist.
I'd have to skip class for a week, I think. I don't know if I could do it. That's crazy.
I might be emailing my professors of, I got the gold medal flu. I need a couple days here.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to be drafted in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, whatever it is. So, again, kudos to your collegiate teammates as well. Who obviously
seriously.
Stepped up. Okay. So that, again, arrives us now at the end of this question, which is we're going to look forward PWHL wise now.
Yeah.
You vaulted yourself right to the top of the standings after those 3 games. I know there's been some movement since then just because these games happen.
Yep.
Now you are on a trajectory towards the playoffs, right? So for the audience now, like I'm kind of setting up the next day in the life.
Yeah.
What are we looking forward to now in terms of the PWHL? Because look, Montreal is one of the favorites here, right? There's a pressure with that too. And you've got to maintain, I know you know this, you've got to maintain the professionalism you've always maintained. This gold medal cannot stop you here, right?
No.
So set us up here for the next few months.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like the second half of the season at this point.
Right.
And this is where it gets like really crazy because we have the point system where it's 3 points for a regulation win, 2 for an overtime win or shootout win, 1 for an overtime loss or shootout loss. And so the standings change a lot. It's very volatile. Like it's crazy. You can win 3 games in a row and literally jump to first place. Like it's very crazy.
That's awesome too at the same time. I guess.
And so fun. Yeah. And that's what's so fun for the fans to watch too. And for us to play in because like getting that regulation win means a lot more.
Yeah.
And so we have that. And then playoffs, only 4 teams make it and we have 8 teams.
Right.
So it's gonna be tight. Like it's gonna be a battle. And then they also have what they call the gold plan. So the teams who are in like last place or whoever gets eliminated first, you want to win or get as many points as you can so that you get the first draft pick in the next draft. So again, like no games are easy when you're in our season because everyone is fighting for something, whether it's a playoff spot or the gold plan. And so I think that part's really cool about our league and what makes it more exciting for fans to watch.
I wish more leagues would adopt that. I think
it's so smart.
It's so brilliant. It's so much better than a stupid lottery that everyone thinks is rigged, even though it may not be.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you brought it up because again, once you're eliminated, it's not going to stop you from playing.
Yep.
And again, I can hear some fans going, well, why would players want to play hard to try and get someone that's going to possibly replace them? These are professional athletes.
Yeah.
Your character matters, right?
Yeah.
If you're not playing your butt off, you're not going to be on that team next season.
Also true.
Obviously, you want to be in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I love what the PWHL has done to create competitive balance across the league. I do have to say it. I don't know when the next expansion is going to be. But please look at Philadelphia. I don't know why we haven't had a takeover game yet. Everybody here wants a takeover game. I'm hoping that's going to happen next season.
We'll let the league know.
I'm going to say it. The 27 season, I don't know how it has not happened yet. But
that is crazy.
I will give, obviously, Washington a lot of credit for what they've done. But we have a lot of girls hockey in Philly, too. So please, I'm pleading with you. That's not going to be evergreen, what I just said. Or maybe it'll be a fun thing to revisit.
Yeah.
Haley, another great episode. Again, I love that we're setting this up. The audience is wishing you and Montreal the best. But I'm going to tell the audience too, like, again, this has been a really fun series. I think this will conclude our gold medal coverage for now. I'm hoping we're going to be talking about playoff championships and success in the future. I know that's got to be where your mind's at now, right? That is, we talked about manifestation and visualization. Is that where you're heading with that now?
Yeah, our whiteboard has a little flip. So on the other side, we have I'm a Walter Cup champion. So
I love it.
Yes, it is ready.
I love it. All right. Well, audience listening, thank you so much. Again, we're not done with Haley by any sense of the word. We're going to keep having great interviews, great conversations. Remember, if you have a topic, especially in girls hockey, you want us to discuss, email us at team@ourkidsplayhockey.com, message me or message Haley on Instagram. Or remember that there's a link accompanying the episode in the description where you can text us. Just leave your name, where you're from, anything you want us to discuss. And we love hearing your questions. Again, we only put the Q&A stuff up once in a while because you ask at least 2 episodes worth of questions. It's always fun. Haley, thanks so much for the time today, as always.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, gang. That's going to do it for this edition of Our Kids Play Hockey. We'll see you on the next one. Our girls play hockey. Excuse me, I'm too used to saying that. See you next one, everyone. Have fun.
We hope you enjoyed this edition of Our Kids Play Hockey. Make sure to like and subscribe right now if you found value wherever you're listening, whether it's a podcast network, a social media network, or our website, ourkidsplayhockey.com. Also, make sure to check out our children's book, When Hockey Stops, at whenhockeystops.com. It's a book that helps children deal with adversity in the game and in life. We're very proud of it. But thanks so much for listening to this edition of Our Kids Play Hockey, and we'll see you on the next episode.